have you here today.
Thank you. Very good to be here. Hello, everyone.
So you heard it. You built with Relai the ultimate Bitcoin app. So let's talk a little bit Bitcoin first. Depending on the survey or study that you're looking at, it says in the internet when you research that around 20% of Swiss population currently hold cryptocurrency. That's a lot. And that's, of course, including Bitcoin. But when I look around in my environment, my family, friends, and so you're already nodding, you know what I want to say, then I don't have the feeling that everyone is into cryptocurrency. So what is your feeling there?
No, I don't think so. I think we're at the very beginning. Even if this number is true, it means that 4 out of 5 people don't have Bitcoin yet. So I think this is really what we are seeing, right? If we look at our users that download the app, they're usually relatively clueless. Like they hear about Bitcoin. I mean, everyone pretty much has heard about Bitcoin at this point. Maybe we can ask here, how many people have heard of Bitcoin? Hands up. Okay, almost all
of
them. Yes. And how many do actually own Bitcoin right now?
Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
Still pretty good. Well, it's a startup crowd, right? They're all innovative people. This is probably a bubble, right? If you go out to the street and if you talk to friends or colleagues at work, many of them at a lot of events that are outside of startup, finance, Bitcoin, I would say even 9 out of 10 people don't really have a clue about Bitcoin.
And the other thing is that a lot of people also think, well, the hype is here, it's already too late.
Yes.
What do you think on that?
Oh, so many people. Like the main reason why people have not yet invested is because they think they've missed the train completely. They're like, oh, in 2017 I already thought about it, but then it was 10,000 per coin, now it's 100,000 per coin. I missed the train, it's too late. But what I tell people is we're still at the very beginning, still 90 or 80% do not have Bitcoin. They will learn about it, they will get into it, and one Bitcoin will be 1 million at one point.
And for you, I know it's one of the best investments that you can do. Why?
Well, 10 years ago when I started, when I first discovered Bitcoin, I bought 1 Bitcoin for 500.
And that was 10 years ago, right?
10 years ago. It's not even that long, right? So this is a 200x performance. 5 years ago when we founded Relai, it was 10,000, so at 10x in 5 years. It's the best performing asset in the world, period, right? Compared to all the other crypto assets, compared to all the other traditional assets. Why? It's because we have the first time in history we have a form of money that is digital and scarce. There's only 21 million Bitcoin, it's fixed. The fiat currency, there can be more and more of it is being printed, and so everything is worth less all the time. Bitcoin cannot be printed. It's outside of the control of governments, of banks. You can hold it, and it's digital, so this means that you can transfer it for very low cost at very short time, independently of any third party, worldwide. It's neutral, it's global. It's basically, when you look at what makes great money or a great store of value, Bitcoin is just a perfectly designed system.
Well, and you actually with Relai make it even more easy also to invest in Bitcoin, because you designed the app to be simple, intuitive, and allowing everyone to buy and sell Bitcoin within minutes. So when you bought your first Bitcoins 10 years ago, was that actually also the starting point when you thought about building your own company in this area?
No.
No. When did it start? What was the starting point?
This was like 3 years later. So 10 years ago, I was sitting in the living room of a friend of mine who was a techie. I was not a techie. I studied psychology and business administration. I had no idea about technology. Still don't have a lot of idea about technology, even though I'm a founder of a fintech company now. But then this tech guy, we were gaming in his living room, and he showed me that he did some investments in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency, and I thought it was really fascinating and interesting, and I got deeper down the rabbit hole. A week later, I called him and say, I want to buy, but it's too hard. It was too difficult for me as a non-tech person. I was not a nerd, right? I want to buy Bitcoin, but I didn't know how. So I called him, and so he bought the first Bitcoin for me.
Oh, really?
I went to the ATM, got $500 in cash, gave it to him, and he showed me on his phone that, yeah, I bought Bitcoin for you. A week later, I called him again. It went up 10%.
Wow.
Sell, right? So he sold it again. I made $50. I thought I was the most,
Not bad.
the best investor in the world, right? Should have kept the Bitcoin in hindsight, but I didn't really understand it yet. I only really understood it a few years later when I thought, okay, this is actually the biggest revolution in our time, and I want to work on this. Like, if we can disrupt and improve money, it will improve society and economy globally as we know it today. And this is a huge mission I want to work on.
And let's talk about your founder story then, because it all started with a hackathon, right?
Well, the hackathon was in 2019. I would say it all started with an idea end of 2018, because then I was more and more into Bitcoin, and a lot of people knew about this in my surroundings. So basically, 2017, we had this big bubble where Bitcoin went from 1K to 20K. And so, of course, everyone was super interested and asked me, Julian, how can I buy Bitcoin easily? And they basically gave me the product spec. They said what they expect. An app that I can download. Within a few minutes, I can start buying Bitcoin. I can hold it myself. I can transact with it easily, and I can set up a savings plan, like automatically invest $50 or $100 every week. So I was like, this sounds really cool. I would actually like to use it, and I know many people around myself that want to use this, because for 9 out of 10 people, what I discovered is the current exchanges and the tools that were there were too complicated for them. Like it was too complicated for me in 2015 to buy my first Bitcoin. So they asked me to do the same that my friend, and that's not gonna scale, right? So we need to make it super easy. And then I posted this on a Bitcoin channel on Telegram with a few hundred people. And there was a few people that reached out to me. One of them was my co-founder, is still our co-founder and CTO, Adam. And he said, this sounds really cool. I can help you build this if you want. And so I was like, yeah, sure, let's start, right? And then half a year later, we ended up participating in this hackathon where we built the first prototype. And from there, we slowly but steadily transformed it from a hobby to a project to an actual company.
And now 5 years later, I would say that Relai is a huge success because you already have 100K active users. So a lot of founders know that your role changes over time a little bit. At the beginning, you might be a 1 or 2 man show in your case, but now you may be more of a leader because you, of course, have new employees. So how did you make that transition work for you?
I discovered that basically everything I did, so at the beginning, you do everything yourself, of course, right? Basically, Adam did the tech, and I did everything else. So I did everything from marketing to finance to regulatory, licensing, legal compliance, community management, support. I did support, right? There was an email, support@relai.app, and I received these emails. So you do everything. And then step by step, you need to scale. So you need to delegate some of these things. Sure. You need people to delegate them too. So of course, fundraising was mostly what I did. And once we had money to employ people, I was like, okay, what can I delegate? What should I delegate next? What has the biggest impact on the company that I should delegate? And then you find great people that are better than you. Like everyone you hire needs to be better in that job this person has to do. And so then you delegate this step by step, and you lose control. And you need to lose control. It's a good thing. You cannot control things, otherwise you're a bottleneck and you will not scale. So you need to let go, but you need to have people that are very skilled, very experienced, very driven, that are bought into your mission and that you trust. And so from there on, the only thing you need to do, it sounds simple, it's not easy, but the only thing you need to do is to inspire these people, to incentivize them, to deliver the purpose for them, to give the orientation strategically, where are we going, and that's then more and more the leadership tasks. But at the beginning, you need to be hands-on, right? You need to do everything, and then identify which tasks and responsibilities you can hand over to pros who have actually done this before and can help you build out your vision and mission.
Let's talk about a very current topic. It was in the news because we all know the financial market is a highly regulated market. And now the situation in the EU has become even more strict. It was just in the media. Relai is one of the few Swiss crypto companies that are currently allowed to operate through Europe with a MiCA license, which you received from the French Financial Market Authority. Super complicated topic. We don't have a lot of time, but for everyone who has no clue what this is and why it's so important for you, can you explain it shortly?
Switzerland is a small market. We have 8 million people in Switzerland. There are 400 million people in the EU. So naturally, if you want to build a unicorn, you need to be able to expand to the EU. And from the very beginning, we wanted to do this. Now, with this new MiCA regulatory framework, this means that you can have one license to rule them all. So we got the French license now after 2 years of very, very hard work, but it was worth it. Now we have this license that allows us to actively market and acquire customers in all the EU countries. So that's going to be very big for us. We only just received the license a week ago. Now that means that next year we can really allocate a lot of growth capital to expand to the EU and really think and act big. Before, we were basically handcuffed in this market. We were able to, with the Swiss company, to accept clients if they found out about us, but we cannot do any marketing, right? Now we can do marketing and really actively expand to the EU. So that's why this is super important.
Very interesting, and I don't know if you feel it too, but when you talk to Julian, you feel that he has a lot of energy, loves what he's doing with Relai, and of course also this MiCA license for sure was a challenge for your company, and I know that mindset, you have an idea of how to work with your mindset to overcome challenges like this. Maybe you can share it with the audience, your ultimate tip when it comes to a mindset for an entrepreneur.
Well, basically cross the concept of giving up completely. I just delete it. Giving up is not an option, right? Because whenever there's a challenge and you get out of your comfort zone, everything in your body tells you to stop, tells you to give up. You know, do something easier. You know, don't put yourself through this. This is going to hurt. This is going to be painful. Don't go there. Like, go there. Go back to bed, right? Everyone knows this. 6 o'clock in the morning, the alarm bell rings, and then everything in your body tells you to just shut it down and go to sleep again. Well, in these situations, just be resilient. Just don't think about giving up or giving in to these voices as an option. It is no option. There is no giving up. There is a vision and mission, and you pursue it, no matter what. No matter how close you are to failure, it's just, you know where to go, you know how to win, and you pursue it until you are there. It's all about believing in yourself and in your vision and what you want to achieve, and it's about goals as well, right? I set myself the goal when we started the business of 1 million revenue per year, and I thought it's absolutely inachievable. It's like impossible to achieve. But I read in this book that if you write something down, you put it on your desk, and you see it every day, unconsciously, you will do everything you can to achieve it. And it took us 3 years to get to 1 million revenue, but we achieved it. Now I have added 3 zeros, so it's now a $1 billion market capitalization for the business. So a unicorn, I want to build a unicorn. I will build a unicorn with my team. And it will happen. I don't know when, but it will happen.
So thanks a lot for sharing this. Let's come to the questions of the audience. So what do you think about the major crypto trading platforms on the markets, and how is Relai different from them?
There are banks and crypto exchanges that are offering all sorts of stuff. Bitcoin, but also different other cryptocurrencies. Bitpanda, for example, also added a lot of other like precious metals, other assets like stocks and bonds, etc. We are very, very much focused on Bitcoin and Bitcoin only. We do everything we can to explain people why Bitcoin and Bitcoin only is the big disruption in this century when it comes to money. It's the best and soundest money and store of value that has ever been invented. It's digital gold, and we want everyone to get access, to have access to it in a very simple way. That's why Bitcoin only, and we focus on that and nothing else, and in a self-custodial way. That's what makes us different. All the other platforms that you can think about, they have hundreds of cryptos or at least dozens of cryptos, and they hold it for you, which is a big counterparty risk.
Yep.
And it basically limits what you can do with your Bitcoin. We focus on Bitcoin and Bitcoin only, and it's in a self-custodial way, so you own your coins with us. Even if we go bankrupt tomorrow, you still own your coins. And I think that's a very important differentiator
That's a huge difference.
that a lot of people underestimate still.
So I also think this one is interesting as a last question. As a non-tech person, what made you go into fintech? Did you have any fears to go into that area with no expertise?
Yes, I had no idea, no clue, no expertise in any of this 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Like literally, I didn't know what a hackathon is. I participated in a hackathon in 2019. I didn't know what it is. I can still not read one line of code that is written on Relai. I still pretty much no idea about technology, right? I still have a very limited understanding of finance. I didn't know what a VC fund is 5 years ago. We've raised 20 million in venture capital now. I know now that VC stands for venture capital. But this is all things you need to learn. The only characteristics you really need to have is this drive and being super mission driven, being super ambitious, and being able and willing to learn faster than everyone else. Like learn these things every day. Today you have everything you can. There was not even AI back then, but there was the internet. Now is AI as well. You can learn everything. So just learn it faster than your competitors, and you will all of a sudden now I'm considered a finance expert and a tech expert and everything, right? I still don't think I'm there, but there is a lot you can learn if you have the drive and the commitment and the guts and the resilience to just push through and do it on the long run, right? It needs to be if you start a company, it needs to be a 10-year project for you. It's a marathon, not a sprint. You just need to keep adding at it and pushing every day, never give up.
Well, thank you very much for this very inspiring talk, and of course also for your questions. Julian, thanks for being here, and big applause for Julian Liniger from Relai.
Thank you. Thank you.